Alright guys, so now it is official. LF Corrupt Zamasu is getting his Zenkai. Now I am extremely excited for the Zenkai. Not only am I a huge Zamasu fan, I'm a Region fan as well. I'm also really excited because this character has a very good chance to be really good. He already has his own unique equipment, which is extremely busted. We'll go over that in just one bit, as well as a really busted green card we really do not see very often. So if they do this correctly, I mean, they don't even need to really go off on it. They do need to go off, which I believe they will, but if they do this correctly, this character is going to be a massive problem in the meta. And on top of that, this could also be hinting part 2 of the anniversary, which starts in about just 2 weeks, give or take, from today. And we'll talk about that in just one bit as well. Now, comment down below, guys, how many stars do you guys currently have LF Corrupt Zamasu? He's such an old unit. I personally have him at 14 stars for like the longest time now. He's a 30th anniversary unit, so it's about damn time, right? It's been like literally half of the anniversary we're in right now. But yeah, let's get into it. And by the way, we are going to get some leaks tonight and some updates tonight. Some pretty big updates. I made a video yesterday if you guys want to go check it out. But I'll come out with the leaks tonight as well. So if you guys do want to keep getting updated 24/7 everything Dragon Ball Legends, just simply like and subscribe. And you guys already know I got you guys covered. So really quick, let's just go over this really quick. No need to play the video because they really just don't mention anything we need to know about the video. It's just like a little trailer, pretty cool little trailer, but we've seen this already, right? He's a 30th anniversary unit. So why this character is so special is because he already has one of the his most broken equipments that a character could get. Honestly, like, you guys can just take a look at this for yourselves. Okay, so the first slot you get a whopping base strike and base blast attack up to 35% each. Second slot you get base health up to 15%, as well as 45% to both base strike defense and base blast defense. Okay, and then the third slot is where it gets absolutely crazy, guys. He gets inflicted damage up, so you can tap shot, blast, strike, all that good stuff. It's going to inflict damage, even rising rushes, right? So inflicted damage up by 20%. Also restores own health by 20% if this character, or if this character's health, so it restores own health by 20% if it's 50% or below after enemy's attack is over, activates once, and then it happens again, but if it's at 30% or below and the enemy attacks, right? So basically 40% regen to his health, as well as 20% to inflict damage up is absolutely crazy. Now also, what's really crazy about this character, guys, is his green card. His green card is Pillar of Judgment. Number one, it sounds really cool, right? But it's really, really broken, man. For starters, it's an AoE green card, so it's like one of those things where, kind of like Gohan, right? Ultra Gohan. So just that in itself is really busted. And on top of that, he inflicts all enemies with substitution count by 3, so he locks you in. And even if he locks in a blue character, which has color disadvantage over him, right? He nullifies unfavorable element factors for 3 timer counts. So that in itself is absolutely amazing. He also restores ki by 40 upon activation, so that's really good too. Now, the only thing I would like to see from this, maybe if they were to add a little bit of damage buff, I believe he's a melee type unit, right? He's a glass cannon. You guys can see this for yourselves, right? So that equipment is definitely must needed. And by the way, I might just make an equipment guide for this character of all the best builds you guys can use on teams and stuff like that later on tonight, because I know you guys do like those videos. I always get requests on team builds and equipment builds and stuff like that, so I'll probably make that and post it in a few hours from now when I wake up, because it's 4 a.m. right now. But yeah, he is a melee type unit. Yeah, so he's a melee, just making sure. But he's a glass cannon from what I remember. So after that, I don't really remember anything else. But I see his main ability right here. This is something really good. Nullifies enemies, restores health when it reaches 0 effects when this character attacks for 30 timer counts. So this is really broken, right? He can literally just quick attack Ultra Gohan and negate his endurance, right? You could say the same thing about Spear Bomb GT Kid Goku. It's just really, really busted, bro. I mean, it's really, really good, right? So yeah, I mean, if we just read his main ability in general, it's away with you, mortal scum. So I don't know why, man. I just love Zamasu as a villain. Anyways, it says here, draw the ultimate card, Sword of okay, I'm not gonna pronounce that. I don't want to mispronounce that. But he draws his ultimate, restores own health by 20 and ki by 40, as well as 40% to ultimate damage inflicted for 30 timer counts, and the ability I just read right there. Now, something I would love to see from his main ability to get added with the Zenkai is some basic damage buffs. Maybe like 25% to damage inflicted for 30 timer counts on top of this would be great to see, right? Because he gets health, he gets a bit of ki, he gets his ultimate, as well as 40% ultimate damage inflicted for 30 timer counts, which is really good. I don't know why it's 30 timer counts. I think that's really an overkill. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not going to hold that ultimate for 30 timer counts, but it is what it is. Now, like I said, this is everything he does here, so I forgot what he does. So his first unique ability is all-consuming internal shadow. Okay, that sounds really, really cool, man. But it goes on to say, applies the following effects to self when battle starts. Plus 80% damage inflicted cannot be cancelled, as well as reduces damage received by 30% cannot be cancelled. And on top of that, the following effects occur when this character is defeated. 30% to damage inflicted by all allies, as well as inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade -1 to arts card draw speed level for 30 timer counts, as well as inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade -70 to health restoration for 30 timer counts. So that's actually really good. You tank this guy and then you just have a really busted team pretty much, right? And all those attribute downgrades on your enemies. So that's really, really good too. 30% damage for allies is pretty significant, I'd say. So yeah, and then his second unique ability is Merciless Judgment. These names just keep getting cooler. I don't know what it is about these names, man. It looks super badass. But knocks enemies back to long range, of course, if performed against a strike attack. And you could combo in special moves onto that. Also, 15% to damage inflicted every time this character uses a strike or a blast card, up to 60%. Also restores own health by 5% if own health is 70% or below. So that's really useless, but his unique ability does this 2 times correctly, right? For 50%, and then he gets 20% health back, and then at 30% health after enemy's attack is over, he gets another 20% back. So at 5%, I guess it's not a lot, but it is what it is. I mean, it could be infinite amount of times, right? Because it just says, yeah, I think it's just 5% every time. So also restores own health by 5%. Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is, I mean, 5% is not a lot regardless, but yeah. So let's just see here this last little bit here. The following effects occur to enemies' actions when this character is on the battlefield. By the way, I don't think he has cover nullification, which is much needed in today's meta, obviously. So when enemy lands a strike or a blast card hit, reduces enemy's ki by 5 and reduces own damage received by 5% for 5 timer counts, which is actually not that bad. It's actually a pretty good little ability right there. Also, when enemies character switches, restores own vanish gauge by 50%, activates 8 times. So I completely forgot about this. This is actually pretty broken too. And when enemy is defeated, except self-destruct, destroy all your enemy's cards. So this guy needs more damage. Of course, he definitely needs some defense in his Zenkai ability, but he also needs card draw speed. He has 0 card draw speed from what I read. And he also needs cover nullification. And remember, guys, this is a 30-year anniversary unit. They did Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta justice, which also came out alongside him. So I'm expecting them to do him justice as well, right? So yeah, I mean, part 2 could be future related, right? It could be future related, God Ki related, something around those lines. He does buff future God Ki and powerful opponents. I don't know what his Zenkai ability is going to be. We'll have to wait and find out tonight. Like I said, in a, like, let's just say 12 hours from the time of this recording. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated with some leaks on that. Very curious to see, but we could be getting some future God Ki buffs for part 2. We don't know yet. It's still a little bit too early to tell and guess. But this is probably our first kind of hint. Or this could just be a buff for God Ki in general for, of course, the brand new Fusion Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, right? But yeah, guys, I mean, I'm pretty excited for this character. I really am. Always been a huge Zamasu fan. And I've always wanted a new one, but I guess I'll settle for this Zenkai, which is very much well needed, right? But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up, guys. I'm gonna go to sleep. I just woke up to record this video, but if you did enjoy the video, as always, make sure you guys simply just like and subscribe, and I'll definitely catch you guys once again on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.